Good evening, everybody. I'm on your show. Welcome back. It's been a minute, and I wanted to connect with everybody and give you the updates, put you in the news, let you know what's going on. So, whoops. It's been busy. Some of you guys know that I'm an educator in the city of New Orleans, and I was working for a charter school that I'm no longer working for. Um, I was going to turn in my 2 weeks anyway. For those of you who are wondering, I'm not worried about it. There's so much going on in the world that sanity is more important than a means to an end. It's the easiest way to put it. I would rather wake up in my own mind and body and know that I'm doing my best instead of being bullied and harassed over it. With that being said, the direction Montague travel is still in the same direction we laid out. I am building, designing, and implementing new projects. The new project focus right now is getting back to the Japanese real estate issue. The Japanese real estate issue is now a global real estate issue. For example, major cities are COVID hotspots. Private gatherings are COVID hotspots. Airports are COVID hotspots. Bus terminals, train stations, you name it. Anywhere you get more than 5 people is a possible outbreak zone. Everybody in their right mind that owns property in a country, or let's just say outside of a major city far enough away that you got to walk half a mile to meet your neighbors, is the priority. And Japan is no different. In the description below, I'm going to link a lot of videos that will get you caught up on trends, what's going on, who's saying it, why they're doing it, and how they feel about it. Living in the city of New Orleans, I am not in the 7th Ward. I am not in the CBD. I'm not in any of the major areas where tourism exists. I'm kind of out in New Orleans East, which technically is a suburb in the city. People treat the New Orleans East like it's this other community all to itself. And I'm perfectly fine with that. The only issue I have is Walmart. Walmart is within spitting distance of where I'm currently living, and it brings out a lot of people that don't need to be there. And it's just, it's an issue. Now, how does Japan factor into this conversation? Japan has had an issue of everybody wants to be in Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe, Tokyo, of course, Tokyo, Yokohama, and every major city in Japan. And now, for health reasons, it's just not feasible. Imagine living in Dallas and then you wake up to a pandemic and it's like, Maynard, Texas, San Marcos, Cedar Park, Deer Park, Arlington, Pilot, Texas no longer seem like too far out of the way. They actually seem perfect. Finding a home, an apartment, a condo, whatever your means to live can afford, you're doing it. So, which brings me to the background. The background is Hideyoshi, Japan. Again, if you can get in contact with Ms. Madoka and the Hideyoshi Recovery Project Committee, they're still taking donations. They had their own version of Hurricane Katrina July 7th, 2020. In the middle of a pandemic, you have a monsoon that floods out your valley community. Yeah, 2020 has been a crap year for everyone. I'm so glad it's over. One of the most beautiful things about Hideyoshi is that there's a lot of prime real estate. And with Kumamoto being a 2-hour train ride away, 2.5 depending on what route you take, people are abandoning the cities. If you want to vote for the best place to move to, in my opinion, if you're in southern Japan, Hideyoshi. You have great ramen shops, you have fresh organic food centers, you have great family entertainment. It's a beautiful community, rich with its own vibrant traditions and cultures, and who wouldn't want to be there? So, again, that's the first issue. The next issue, let's talk about what's local in New Orleans. Um, with the free time I just inherited, I wanted to focus on Black artists, not the music scene. Yeah, so many people talking about the music scene in New Orleans. No, I want to give you an example. The Seventh Ward Ice Creamery, owned by Mr. Ron Brody. I wanted to give a shout out to um, Cecilia Givens, who is an aspiring, wonderful soul who's traveled to Japan and is an artist locally in New Orleans. Not only that, I want to talk about the Community Book Center, different restaurants, different venues that are owned by African Americans and other minorities, including Gopher Games New Orleans, which is technically in Kenner, but it's owned by Matt Pearson, and it's a phoenix in the ashes of everything that went wrong with Katrina. The gaming community, if you haven't noticed, blurred. I'm wearing my Neon Genesis Evangelion shirt I got back in God knows when. It needs to be retired. My wife reminded me about the shirt, but that's a small pun in between everybody on the channel. Um, Before Hurricane Katrina, you had Rising Phoenix on the West Bank. You had Galactic Games. You had Gamers and Matrix. You had several gaming community stores that were primarily servicing everyone in the city, if not their own particular area and neighborhood. Right now, you have Plus One Gaming and Gopher Games. But I want to talk about Gopher Games. Gopher Games is where my gaming community migrated to in New Orleans. And I'm so proud to support and celebrate that shop as much as I get a chance to, including tagging them on things I'll be donating to them in the future. Um, Specifically, when I'm talking about local business, I'll feature them on my Instagram, Montague Travel. If they're gaming or blood related, they will also be featured on my Mecca Madness channel, as well as Twitter. So make sure you stay tuned for the coming months. And if you are a small business owner in the New Orleans area, Metairie, Kenner, Luling, and you want to talk about your business, please get in touch with me. I would love to schedule a short Zoom interview. If not, come to your establishment and put you out there for the world to know. Why am I doing this? Um, there are so many things that make New Orleans appealing to visitors and tourists beyond Voodoo Music Fest, beyond Mardi Gras, beyond all of the major events that get publicized daily that bring people from all over the world. I want to talk about the experiences, businesses, and the people that really make New Orleans shine in its own light, away from the glitz and glamours of Bourbon Street, the quarter, and the city proper. You have so many neighborhoods and communities that contribute to what makes New Orleans great, and they are not highlighted, they're not discussed. So, with that, if you're still watching at this point in the video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and lend me your ear. Now, for those of you that are in the music industry and local artists, I'm not discriminating against you. If you don't feel you're getting the publication and the publicity you want through the normal social media channels, reach out to me. I'd love to feature you just to let people know you're on the map. And with that, again, the real estate information will be dropped in the description below. Talking about Tokyo 2020 Olympics that are postponed until October 2021. We're on life support today when nefarious newspapers and news outlets in Japan decided to say that the Japanese Diet concluded that the Olympics were going to be canceled. Don't say that. That is the most damaging thing you can do to the Japanese economy and tourism business right now, and any other country going through the pandemic, is take away their biggest event just because you felt like it, just to get 10 minutes of fame. That was a dick move. Don't ever do that again. With that being said, I hope Japan gets their vaccine program together. I hope Japan maintains everything they need to host the Olympics. Not only that, when they were talking about that certain locations and facilities weren't going to be ready for the Olympics, they've had a cushion buffer barrier of time with the pandemic, and they successfully completed all their projects. So even if the Olympics is delayed, I would love to see the facilities after the Olympics when they were turned over to local use. With that, it's been a beautiful evening. Black Shirt Friday. Support a Black business. Not only support a Black business, check out your community and support a minority business. We would love for you to come to New Orleans, check us out. And when my travel business reopens, I would love for you to travel with me to Hideyoshi and stand in this moment that's behind me on the screen. With that, peace, love, and hair grease. God bless. Kongoa, and good night. Oyasumi nasai.